Let's journey to one of the most history-rich cities in Canada, Quebec City in the province of Quebec, and of course, the Chateau Fairmont Frontenac, in this case, in Quebec City. When you come here, there is a parking lot just for guests. It's valet parking only at the hotel, so as soon as you get in, the valet takes your car and you are free to walk around and experience all the luxury of this Fairmont location. This hotel in particular was built around 1892 to 1893. So we're talking about quite a historic property. And the hotel was built specifically in those years to attract tourist attention to Quebec City. And side note, most Fairmont hotels, if not all of them, were built among railroad tracks in Canada to attract tourists to those locations. This was Easter weekend. I booked this hotel completely by coincidence, coming back from Halifax, driving to Toronto. So it's not like we were there for Easter, but it was really nice to walk through and see the decorated, extra festive spaces, as otherwise I imagine with all of these eggs gone, it would have just been an empty hallway. Now, in addition to all these decorations, the Fairmont lobbies are famous for having stores in them. Some have more stores than others. For example, the one in Victoria, BC that we've posted about on this channel has quite a few stores. This one had 2 or 3 from what I saw. So not the most expansive common area, but still cute enough materials to take your time and peruse. And I love those fuzzy sheep things. Now, when it came to our room, this was more on the basic side of a room for us. Usually I upgrade the rooms a lot when we're talking about like a true destination travel, whereas this was more just having to spend a night, like I said, en route from Halifax to Toronto. Nonetheless, this was the room itself with a king bed. The bedding was great. The bed was firm. Pillows were great. I do have to say those quality touches, those finishing touches are a little bit better at hotels we stay at with the Relais and Chateau organization. But would I say this was luxury bedding? Yeah, of course it was. Would I say I had a great night's sleep? I did sleep quite well. And I really appreciated that extra little seating arrangement at the foot of the bed, made for that much more opportunity to, station yourself around the room, if you will. Kind of like somebody could work, someone could watch TV, somebody could sleep, whatever. That little couch situation went a really long way. This was the more officey working side of the room. Just the conventional stuff you see, the chair and of course desk and all those, basic finishes. There was nothing extraterrestrial about this office setup. When it came to this piece of furniture, I liked it. This was definitely, I can tell you, a modern Fairmont room. Okay, usually we're talking brown, outdated furniture at the Fairmonts. This was like markedly better than the other Fairmonts. Than many other Fairmont rooms. Minibar was actually stocked, which is nice. I don't drink alcohol, but it's nice to see that somebody thought that you might want something, you might want refreshments, or even the snacks when you get to your room. And this was like part of our view was looking at other rooms because again, this was a basic room. I didn't upgrade it. The robes, cute little touch. I love that they mentioned the name of the hotel itself. Moving on now to the bathroom on the other side of the closet. These little French style doors, I mean, they were each about like a hand wide. So not, the widest doors and the widest opening to a bathroom. But again, as far as attention to detail goes, the devil is in the details as the expression goes. And when it comes to these luxury stays, side note, the Le Labo Rose 31, they've been using that at the Fairmonts. My entire life I've gone to the Fairmont. They have used that scent and it is so evocative. I love the scent. It's not a Fairmont stay without the Rose 31 and I hope they never change that. And of course you can see the finishes of the shower there. The devil, really is in the details, and it's the details that distinguish the really luxury hotels from the less luxury ones. I mean, all hotels at their core are like buildings with rooms in the shape of a square or a cube. But it's of course the details that make those experiences night and day from each other depending on what class of hotel you stay at. This was the hallway. Kind of interesting to see a hallway with absolutely no art in it, but honestly kind of refreshing as well. Side note, if you saw those stairs, so this room was on the 2nd floor and our room had stairs. So if mobility is like an issue for you, make sure you ask them to not be on a floor with stairs on it, because we took the elevator to get to the 2nd floor. number 2 button on the elevator, and then still had stairs. So I was not expecting that with the heavy luggage and everything. Common areas, restaurant lineup here. You'll see. Side note, food. I have never had like an exquisite meal at the Fairmont. Not really what they're known for, not really destination places when it comes to the food. Again, unlike the Relais and Chateau brand or even the Leading World Hotels brand. This was the pool. I have to say the pool was by far the most disappointing aspect of the booking experience. The contrast between the photo shown on the website and the pool you see when you walk in person. I mean, it's not a matter of being catfish, it's a matter of being like other world fish, like complete difference. I wish they would have shown a more authentic picture because, again, with it being such an old building, there's not much they can do to make the pool amazing today. And that's okay, but prep me for that. Show me a more realistic photo. And this is the behind the hotel. So the hotel is located like smack dab in the middle of Old Town, Quebec. There is a lot more to Quebec City than the old town that you're seeing in this video. But again, this is where the hotel happens to be, as was our last amazing hotel in Quebec City, the Auberge Saint-Antoine. You see down there the ferry to get to different locations. Side note, so this is the St. Lawrence River it's on, and further east, there's another epic Fairmont, Chateau Richelieu, I believe. It's the Fairmont in La Malbaie town in Quebec. That Fairmont ferrying there, I saw a beluga whale in the water. I'll show you the photo here. And it was not until years after that I came across an article. I mean, I knew they were like elusive creatures, like seeing a beluga in the St. Lawrence is like a big deal. I was in such disbelief at the time. I didn't have time to like go to video, so I just snapped a photo to make sure I had some evidence. But it's a live photo, and I didn't know how to show that in the video. But in the live photo, you can see like the head coming up, the body, and the tail, and everything. But it wasn't until years later I read that there's only been 8 recorded sightings of a beluga in the St. Lawrence. Now, let's get our thoughts together as we do at the end of every video. It's really important to me on this channel that I share my authentic experience, that nobody saves their money to go somewhere I've spoken highly about only to find out it was a disappointment. Would I go here again? Honestly, no. Does that mean I had a bad experience? Honestly, no. So let's talk about that. When it comes to the Fairmonts, if you're going to experience one Fairmont in your life, my top 3 in Canada would include this one actually. So the Fairmont Frontenac, which was this one, Fairmont La Malbaie, which I just spoke about, which is like super famous worldwide for being a political hub spot. They've hosted, I think, G8s, G20s. That's a big deal, Fairmont. And the Fairmont Empress in Victoria, BC, which was voted not of the Fairmonts, but overall of hotels, the most beautiful in North America in one of the recent years that just passed. And then there are a lot of 4-star Fairmonts where you're not going to get the bang for buck, even though they will be less expensive because they have 4 stars as opposed to being a 5-star like this one. But there are lackluster Fairmonts that are much more on the brown furniture with scuffs on it kind of side. So you would actually be better off going to this Fairmont, even though it's more expensive, because you're going to get more value for that dollar than the cheaper one where you're thinking I'll pay less, but you're going to get a lot less as well. So overall, there was some value to this Fairmont, but there is a world of hotels outside of the Fairmonts, and that's why I say overall, I wouldn't feel compelled to go to this one. The Auberge Saint-Antoine we stayed at on the way from Toronto to Halifax, that was a Relais Chateau hotel, multiple Michelin stars for customer service alone, just really quiet, thin air kind of atmosphere, upper echelon kind of atmosphere. Here, I mean, there are people that haven't paid a penny to be at the hotel, walking in and out to take photos of everything, which of course is okay, we've all been there, but it adds to the cluster, it adds to the noise, and in so doing, it takes away from your experience. And one thing, if you notice, there aren't too many shared common spaces in this hotel. The pool here, oh my god, like the most disappointing catfish of all time. So there are aspects, and the food I didn't even bother with because I've done like literally every Fairmont in Canada, in the country. So I know not to bother with the food because I wouldn't have much to say about it. The public spaces were not my favorite. The room, however, this was the most renovated, luxurious, recently finished Fairmont room of all time that I've been in. And I had visited the Victoria one, the Fairmont Empress, like weeks after those renovations were done. So that's saying a lot. So you take the good, you take the bad, you make your own decision. Would I go again? No. Was it an enriching experience nonetheless? I mean, especially so for me, this was the last Fairmont I had to visit in the country. Not had to, but I had the privilege of visiting. I should finish that sentence, in the country. So for me, it was a positive experience nonetheless. Thank you so much for watching this video. We now post luxury content here every Tuesday and Friday. So make sure you subscribe so you see our next beautiful luxury post with, of course, value-driven business talk on the side, and just keep growing together. And of course, share your comments down below. I would love to hear from you if you've been to this Fairmont, if you're thinking of going, and of course, what you thought of this video. How can we improve and make it a better watching experience for you? Thanks again for watching.